वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. There are two aspects of our life. One, that everyone wants to be happy. There is nobody, there is no living being who do not want to remain happy. Nobody wants pain, misery, trouble, etc. And secondly, every living being want eternal existence or continuous existence. Whatever physical, mental, whatever trouble we have can reduce. It is okay. Whatever physical or mental trouble, pain we have, but nobody wants to die, nobody wants to get extinct. These two aspects continues in every living being. People of every religion, every race, everybody has these two tendencies. One, that you want to be happy. Another, that you want to exist. You want to live, you don't want to die. Even if you say, no, it is not so, there are many people who commit suicide because they don't want to live. Actually, it is not so. They just want to be free from whatever difficulties they have at that time. To resolve or to solve that problem, they think dying could be one way to go out, to be free from these difficulties, to remain happy. Again, the question comes to be happy only. So, taking these two aspects, the third thought comes in the mind. Is there anybody, or was there anybody who could live without pain, who could live without difficulties? Do you think rich people don't have difficulties? Do you think poor people have only trouble in their life? People are sick. People are physically invalid from birth. They also have their own happiness in their life. So our life is mixture of happiness and misery, pleasure and pain. But is there any other way where you can eliminate the misery part of it? Nobody can be free from physical misery, physical difficulties or pain. But the way you take those pains, the way you take those difficulties, may result into you're not being affected by that. We all live in this world. Incarnations lived in this world. Great prophets lived in the same world. How they have faced the problems. Among us also, you will find people have their own ways to tackle these problems. So it is said that not that your misery, your pain, your difficulties will go away from your life, but rather you will have that attitude or that tendency and the way to tackle with those issues so that you do not feel pain or your feeling of pain is lesser. We are not talking of physical pain. Physical pain has its own limitations also, and there are medical ways to be free from those pains. You have a headache, you take painkiller. You have physical pain, you take painkiller. You have medicines, you have sprays, many things are there. Many times we feel a sports person is running in the field and suddenly collapses, and will be holding his leg and crying, something, muscle cramp or something. Immediately somebody comes, little spray, and in 30 seconds that fellow starts running again. So I used to think, why can't that medicine is given to all of us? Why we suffer so much and he starts running? So anyway, sports medicine is another group of medicine, maybe, I do not know. But there are ways and means. So physical pain is a different thing, that we know. But even to take that physical pain, eventually you take it mentally. You have physical pain, you take medicine. But when you have pain, you forbear the pain. That threshold has to go up. I don't know, whatever spontaneously comes in my mind and what I feel to practice, and I do practice like that, that's what I am talking. You have physical pain. Of course you go to doctor and get yourself treated, but there is a period of time which you have to undergo the suffering. How to take that suffering is a technique, is a way, is an attitude. You reduce in your own way. How to reduce? Not that you can reduce the pain. You increase the threshold of your forbearing capacity. And you divert your mind. That's the main thing. You remember all of us have gone to doctors and doctors have given injection to us. Everybody has the same kind of pricking. But because of the different threshold of forbearance, you find different reaction of the people. Some people you will find, they look like this. They don't want to see the blood or they don't want to feel pain. Something they will do. I am giving a statement which I personally try to practice. When you have this kind of pain, that is the time when you can practice the virtue or the value which is spiritual values. You objectify the pain. I am seeing this microphone. What first thing is proved by that? I am seeing the microphone, I can touch it. The first proof which you get it is, I am not the microphone. This microphone could be mine. I am not the microphone. This cloth is mine. This phone is mine. I am neither cloth nor the phone. So me is something, and what is mine is not me. It could be mine, but it's not me. If this phone breaks, I will have, again I have to collect the data and the telephone numbers, and this is different thing. But you don't suddenly feel the pain as your hand would have been broken, because you are not the phone. Scripture says that you are not the body. Because of our long identification, we cannot be free from this identification that, I am not the body. But we have this faith, the scriptures are not telling lies. I am soul, I am Atman, I am not the body. So when this is a very smallest experiment which you can do with yourself is, doctors will tell, nowadays nurse is also very courteous. So little pain will be there, done. Some they will prepare you. So when they prick, you objectify the whole process in the pain. Whichever way you adopt. Devotees do like this. They repeat the mantra when this kind of cases come. Go little minutely. Even when the needle touches your skin, there is no pain. When needle is inside your skin, then also practically there is no pain. It is that one moment when the needle goes in. Beginning there is no pain. Afterwards there is no pain. In the center also no pain is supposed to be there. But we feel. That feeling of pain can be objectified. Nowadays medical science has progressed, so we don't feel how much blessed we are. You read the reminiscences of the people of olden time. Swami Shivanandaji Mahapurush Maharaj writes, when we were in Varanasi in 1900, terrible toothache. Only clove was there that you put and keep quiet. Whole night, so much pain that cannot sleep. Now any of us has any kind of pain, any severe tooth pain, half ibuprofen you take in 10 minutes time, you are free from the pain. That was not there. I remember when Swamiji, terrible toothache. So when toothache is there, it is not going and there is nowhere else. But he is very jovial person otherwise. So he has tooth pain. So he came to me, much senior to me. And shouting at me and says, is there any way to be free from this pain? Like that. So, though senior, but I had a very good relation with him. I said, shouting doesn't reduce the pain. Take ibuprofen, your pain will go. Then give it. And India we take, without doctor's prescription, we know something should be in the stomach. Empty stomach, ibuprofen cannot be there. There is the only rule, In 10 minutes, I go, oh come, let us have tiffin. Because his pain subsided. This is one side of it. What we are talking is that the pain which you have to undergo, many things are conceptual. I remember one devotee telling to me, Swamiji, everything is okay. Only I am very much scared and afraid of few things. I tell, what is that? What will happen if I develop dementia? I said, if you have dementia, others will have to suffer, not you. What happens if I lose my memory? I said, you already have lost a lot of memories already. You don't feel pain. You have no memory of your existence. Do you have? Do any one of us remember when we were 1 year old? But we were 1 year old. What happened to those 365 days of memory? I don't remember even when I was 3 years old. So what happened to that 1000 days of my life? So don't imagine and suffer. Imagine and suffer. Tackle every day as it comes. Illness, jara, vyadhi is common for everybody. Monks also suffer, householders also suffer. Poor also suffer, rich also suffer. This is for everybody. Some people suffer a little less, some people suffer a little more. But whatever suffering we have, how to tackle it? There is no point of reading scriptures and believing in God and leading spiritual life if your misery doesn't reduce. Why I am telling this? The very purpose of moksha marga, the very purpose of spiritual life is atyantika dukkha nivritti, paramananda praptischa. This is the goal. Dukkha nivritti, cessation of misery. Atyantika, completely. Complete free from suffering. You say, impossible. It is possible. To be free from suffering is how you take this suffering. We all suffer, we have pain, tears will come out, maybe because of pain. True. The practice is what? When you are completely healthy, sorry, you cannot do this spiritual practice. Your spiritual practice of that type, objectifying your pain, you can practice only when you are in pain. So when you are in pain, Swamiji says in one place, when I am not well, physically, I become as hard as this, and he strike 2 stones. I become as hard as this when I am in physical illness or whatever. The attitude with which they suffer. You read the 9th volume of Swamiji's complete works. Swamiji writes to Miss Muller and says, good that you are not able to come to Vellore Math. If you come, you won't be able to see me. Even if you come and see me, you won't be able to see me suffering. I have to lie down on banana leaves. My body is full of burning sensation. Even the thinnest nylon cloth also is painful for the body. But then again, he comes to his real strength and then writes all the good things. So this is the concept that we want to live happily, we do not want misery, and we do not want to die, we do not want to be completely extinct. And everybody wants the same thing. This is the nature. Which is common in all of us, when it is common in all the living beings, that means it is our nature. What's our nature? That we don't die. What is our nature? That I want to be happy always. Everybody wants that. Even there is a small ant, you try to kill it, it will fight till the end. Doesn't want to die. And every creature tries to find happiness. Everybody, every living being wants to do that. Just the scripture says that the goal is this, which seems to be our nature. Nobody wants to suffer. Atyantika dukkha nivritti. Everybody wants to remain happy. Paramananda praptischa. Because that is our nature. How to know it is our nature? Same reason. If you take a fish out of water, so the fish wants to go back to water. That means without water, fish cannot live. Fish life is in water. Is there anything without which we cannot live, just like fish cannot live without water? Yes, oxygen is a general answer. But there are some tendencies which are inherent in us, in every living being, irrespective of anything. One is this, continuous existence. Nobody wants to die. Second, everybody wants to be happy. And the third, that everybody has a curiosity to know. These three tendencies are part of your being. To remain existent or not to die is in Sanskrit called Sat. Sat means existence, isness. Is is isness, our existence. Our curiosity or our thirst to know, that is called Chit. Not Chitta, Chit, C-H-I-T, Chit. And of course, Ananda is called happiness. That's why it is called, your real nature is Satchidananda, Satchit Ananda. Because these three tendencies are inherent in all of us. Then question comes, is there anybody whom I can follow, who can exemplify that yes, this free, liberated, full of knowledge, enlightened person could be there. So when Krishna is telling to Arjuna, so Arjuna asked a question. If there is anybody such thing, how he looks, how to know that person? How he sits, how he moves, how he speaks. That means how his external and internal behavior is. Krishna says very nicely, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan manogathan. Partha, manogathan sarvan kaman prajahati. One who gives up all the desires of his mind. I have a desire, but I don't have money to fulfill desire. So you give up. You don't give up. You are frustrated. Frustration is not renunciation. When you give up spontaneously, that is renunciation. When you renounce forcefully, that means because you are not capable to, when you will be capable, you will take it back and enjoy again. Renunciation is a state of mind. When you think that this is of no use to me, so the purpose of that thing will go away from your mind. And you spontaneously have no attachment to those objects. That is renunciation. When you read the words, you have a different conception and different letter. Burning renunciation. So people think renunciation is a big trouble. Somehow I have to go and renounce. No. Nobody needs to renounce anything forcefully. You renounce spontaneously. Renunciation is not outside. Renunciation is inside the mind. Many times you go outside, the phone models are there, which phone you want to select. When you take it, it's very light. Because it's not the real phone, it's dummy, it's just to see how it looks. As soon as you know it is dummy, it is that phone you don't want to buy. Because you know it is meaningless. Whenever any object, because of your maturity of understanding, ceases to give you temporary or long-time happiness, and you decide to be free from the attachment of that object, that is renunciation. Renunciation is not anger. Renunciation is not hatred. Renunciation is your effort to understand the nature of the things. When you saw that it is temporary, that's why when you go and buy something, what is the question first you ask? After, of course, the price and all that. Warranty period. How long it will last? They say it will not last longer. Oh, then I don't buy. Minimum it will last for a year. Okay, then I can spend this much money. The longevity. So when you see the thing has to cease giving happiness to you, then only you can renounce. There is no other way to renounce anything. There is another shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Externally you renounce, and internally you are desire of enjoying that. What renunciation it will be? It is giving trouble to yourself and keep on mentally hankering for the object. Externally renouncing. Sri Krishna says no. Aghayuhu indriyaramo mogham partha sajivati. His life is futile. Who wants to externally renounce without renouncing internally? You can be free for a while. Okay, Ekadashi, I don't eat this. Okay, one day renunciation, fine. That you can do. But if I know that these things give me happiness, but externally I will not enjoy it. Externally you don't enjoy, you enjoy secretly. If you don't enjoy secretly, you enjoy mentally. Then it is not renunciation. Your renunciation certificate doesn't come from outside. You know whether you have renounced or not. So again understanding that Sri Krishna says, one who renounces all the desire of his mind, all the desires. How to renounce all the desires? There is a vessel in which there are so many types of food. But it is the food which you don't take. Could be non-veg food, could be sour, could be bitter, whatever. So you spontaneously don't take it. Not that you have to renounce it. You spontaneously, no, I don't take it. Does it take so much burning renunciation not to take it? No. It's very spontaneous. What it is? Very bitter good. Thank you, I don't take it. For me, for example, whatever good dish you prepare out of broccoli, I don't eat. So you say, oh, it is so, what you say, exotic cooking. I say, thank you very much. I am interested. I don't need to try hard to renounce because I don't get happiness out of it. Once you get happiness out of it, then only you are attached to the object. So when you understand this object is no more giving happiness to me, the renunciation becomes spontaneous. You don't need to hate. I don't hate broccoli. I can buy broccoli, cook for you also. I don't hate. In the same way, renunciation. But he says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan. Just take a little sidetrack. One young man told me, I don't know Sanskrit. How to study scriptures. So I said, don't say you do not know Sanskrit. Tell, I know Sanskrit very less, very little. Because your mother tongue has at least 25-30% words which are Sanskrit words. So you don't say you do not know. I have no practice or I know little. Brush up little. You will find 30-40% words you understand. Then you read Bhagavad Gita, which is simplest of Sanskrit practically. And you want to understand the meaning of the shloka. You read shloka and read the meaning, no issue. From Sanskrit study point of view, shlokas are in a meter, anushtup or some chanda. Convert that into prose, convert that into sentence. Whole Bhagavad Gita. You will find the meaning of the shlokas are clear to you. What is this sloka? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatam Sanskrit is a language where there is no kram sambandha. Sequence is not there. In English there is a sequence. I am going to the temple. Temple, am I going to? No. You have to say, I am going to temple. Sanskrit, aham gacchami, gacchami aham. You can put any word anywhere. That's how the meters are formed in Sanskrit. So the meter, which is poetry, convert that into prose, convert it into a sentence. Partha, sarvan manogatan kaman prajahati. Then you put for your understanding, ya prajahati. Ya is not there in the sloka. But to make a sentence, you put ya sarvan manogatan kaman prajahati. One who renounces all the desires of his mind. Like that every sloka you can do. And then you will be expert in understanding the word meaning of the sloka. It's not difficult. I am telling you, as I say, I speak spontaneously. I remember long before, I was hardly, could be 13, 14 years old maybe. So, we never had a two-wheeler scooter in our house. So, when a friend has a scooter, and I have never even touched the scooter. So I told her, hey, give me a scooter, I want to drive. Have you driven? Never. You know how to drive? No. Then you will go and collide. I said, no. I know bicycle, so balance I know. Secondly, these are all psychological practices. I told I will sit, I will ride the scooter, tell myself that I know how to drive. System I know. Start, release the clutch, accelerator, balance I know. It's open ground, so I'm not going to collide with anybody. And that's how I learned driving scooter, driving car, driving truck. I drive the big bus also. Thing is, it's not miracle or something. It's an attitude of mind. I remember when first time I took minibus, big minibus. A big principle in life. Try with the minimum, practice the easiest. So I sat on the bus, big bus, started the bus, nothing will happen, only bus will start. Put your one leg on the brake, put on gear 1, bus will not move because brake is there. Then release the brake, went 2 feet, stop, back gear, 2 feet. No accident will happen. Then 5 feet, come back 5 feet. Then went little this side, came back. Went little this side, came back. Fine morning, went out of the gate and went around the whole city. It took time. Then I took license and all. Fine. What I am telling is, try with the minimum. Practice the easiest. You don't try to read Panini Vyakaran or Shankaracharya's Bhashya. It may be difficult at the present. Initially, if you are not habituated, start with Bhagavad Gita. Books are available. Every word is broken. Understand the word meaning. Convert it into prose. The whole Bhagavad Gita will be very simple for you to understand. So here Sri Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Partha manogatan sarvan kaman ya prajahati. That is the first quality of this person. Who is Tita Prajna? Who is a person of a steady wisdom. These are all technical translation. A person who is established in himself. A person who is established in his spiritual status, spiritual mind. Atmani eva atmana tushta. Tushta, santusht, satisfied. Atmani eva He is satisfied within himself. Atmana, by himself. Little explanation could be required of this. That long before, I remember when Swamiji told me this. All those you have children, you know, think of the first 4 or 5 months of the child's life. The child cries in 2 occasions. One, has soiled the place, or it's hungry. If the child is not hungry, full stomach, and all ablution work is over, so free from all this, clean, the child has no reason to cry unless some illness is there. That type of child, this example is given in the scriptures. Night everybody is sleeping, keep the video on and camera on. Everybody fast asleep. The child wakes up. Doesn't need any toy to be happy. Doesn't need anybody's company to be happy. This example is given in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. This child is happy in the night, throwing hands and feet. Vasishtha says to Rama, you be like that child who doesn't need any external object to be happy. Stomach is full, I am clean, happy. What is I am clean? You don't have any grudge, any criticism, anything for anyone in this world. And your stomach is full, your minimum bare requirements are fulfilled. Nothing to complain, nothing to be unhappy about. Vasishtha says this to Rama, be like that child who doesn't need any external object to be happy. Slowly when the child grows, we adults make the child miserable and make him dependent on something to be happy. Nowadays, 1 year, 2 years, until you give a mobile phone in hand, the child doesn't eat. Thousands of children are like this. Only small children, not even understand what is mobile phone. Other day I went to one place. The girl is quite big, almost 7-8 years old. The mobile phone is there, some game is going on. And mother is feeding. Child has no mind in eating. So I nicely told. I said, for half an hour you can remove the mobile phone, let the child eat. No, without phone, she doesn't eat. I said, no, she will cry for 1 day. But do it. This is not a good practice. What happens, sorry, parents have their own agenda or busyness. Give the phone to the child, let the child remain busy. Child needs your company, not the stupid company of mobile phone and the content inside. So, we become dependent. Look at the small child, happy. You bring a toy, ting, 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 ting. After that, until you show that toy, the child is not happy. You made the child dependent on that. Those who are, I don't know anybody is able to be here, but we had so much play. Now there is no play. All play has gone inside the mobile phone. So that experience of life doesn't come, that maturity doesn't come. That's a different aspect. Aspect is this, that the example is given of Atmani eva Atmana tushta, one who is satisfied within himself or herself. Minimum requirements, minimum dependency. This is very important and you can interpret in any way you like. Study yourself, I have to study myself. how much I am dependent on external objects to be happy. And then you come to know when you keep that object away from you, how much that object has taken place in your life that you come to know when you are away from that. So not to be dependent on anything. We are told many times, think that last day of your life or last few days or few months of your life, when you are not physically as able as you are today. Maybe you won't be able to read the books. Your eyesight is reduced or gone. Maybe you don't even get down from your bed also. We know old people, correct, they cannot. You know people who cannot even turn the side, somebody has to help to turn. What will make us happy? Now you go, get up, go to the fridge, take drink, take this food, go out, sightseeing, everything. Nothing will work out. But you have to live. Truth is this, even people will not be there to talk to you. Neither your own children nor anybody else. Nobody will be there to talk to you because they don't like company of those old people. Because they are your children. You see, if you are like that, they are worse than you. What will happen? We have to think that not that we start becoming old and start dying from today. No. But minimum dependency on the external object to remain happy. Those who are initiated or those who have practice of repeating mantra or something, I have seen many Swamis lying down on bed, 80, 85 years old, without stick, without help, cannot even move, absolutely contented, continuously take the name of God and lie down. Bhagavad food is here because somebody has to give him, then only he can eat. But no demand, no grumbling, no criticism. I remember one Swamiji, he was 85 almost. I saw he was reading book with a glass, chashma. So I told Maharaj, it's so good that you can read. So I said, yeah, this is still one thing external thing which gives me little happiness. But if book also is not there, I'm okay. I don't need books. But first at least we get rid of those negative things which we think that gives happiness. The positive things you don't need to renounce, slowly. But something which except your mind you do not need any other sense to enjoy. Neither reading nor seeing. I know when Swami had a soldier, he is not supposed to look at the TV. He cannot look at the TV. Within 1 minute, his eyes will start paining. So he doesn't see TV. So generally, I have seen Swamis, seeing is not that much used because that becomes more, your mind becomes out. Here, little Sanskrit knowledge. What are one or two names for eye? Chakshu. Take one more name. Nayan. Nayan is called eye. What is Nayan? Naya is to carry, to take. Na, last na, stands for a pratyaya called anat. That by which your mind is carried away is Nayanam. That which carries your mind. Just for fun sake. What is marriage? What is the word for marriage in your language? Vivaha. V stand for Visheshena, or special way of Vaha, taking responsibility in a special way. You take responsibility of everything, but you are not married to it. Vivaha means Vishesham. Vishesham stands for V. A special kind of responsibility. That's why it is called Vivaha. So, eyes are retired first. So that my day-to-day life, at least I can move. I don't need to spoil my eyes by watching. Last sense which we depend on is the ears. Ears is the only sense which is not under your control. Of course, skin also is which is not under your control. Eyes you can close, nose you can close. Ears also you can close by hand. But in our scripture it is said that which is sense object for the ears, that you need to renounce last. Sravanayadi tad vishebhyo manaso nivartanam. You bring back your mind from all the senses. Last is ears. You hear something good, because at that time there was no radio or there is nothing. So hearing was never a source of bad influence. It was never. So they say here you cannot control the ear because there is no way to close by itself. But the remaining senses you can close down, you can shut down, especially eyes. Avrita chakshu, you close your eyes, you close your senses. So, to be satisfied in oneself is to be satisfied without the external objects. All the practices what we do, the root is here. Oh, Ekadashi day I don't take this. Oh, nowadays I don't go and I go to cinema, I don't go to cinema. Oh, I don't practice this anymore. Slowly you give up those. Because eventually you have to be in a state of mind where without any external object, what is that external object? Object of the senses. That sense objects, your senses will become weak, which will lose the capacity to enjoy the objects. And if you are dependent on that, the sense objects are not able to give you happiness, your senses are not able to enjoy the sense objects. What makes the mind happy? You must have internal something for the mind to be happy. Could be your mantra, could be your Ishta Devata thinking, etc. To be happy within. So these two aspects Sri Krishna says for Arjuna. One is to renounce the desires. But why it is called all the desires? One example I give and we stop today. You know, if you have not tried, please do it. Those are, we have done many times. You people also, ladies generally have done more. Take a needle and try to pass the thread from the eye of a needle. What you see? At that time only you see the thread that there are so many fibers, hundreds of fibers. So old Indian way is put in the mouth and sharpen it. Even if one fiber is standing, the thread will not go inside the eye of a needle. So this example is given. What you do, you put little water or you put in mouth as not good practice, but it is a universal practice. Then you sharpen it so that it goes inside the eye of a needle. So all these sarvan kaman prajahati, it has to be concentrated in one pointed. Then your mind will enter into your object of meditation or whatever. When we say we are not able to concentrate our mind and all that, because it is not sharpened. We need to bring back our mind and make it sharp for that to enter. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Mission Singapore.